Hello, and welcome to Variant Roles, where we will be playing the Dresden Files. And currently nothing is on fire.
Currently.
Give it time.
Give it time. We are using the Dresden Files RPG put out by Evil Hat to play a game in Portland, Maine. I'm going to let my ineffable players describe their characters, and this time why don't we go with your name, who you are actually as the player, where we can find you, who you're playing, and for tonight let's go with your high concept. So why don't we start with Cole?
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm CJ Hunter. I'm at Commander Pulsar on Twitter and Twitch. I am playing Cole Trickle. He is a puka cat burglar, and none of this crime is my fault. If they had asked me, I could have planned this better.
We'll jump to Danielle.
Hello, I'm Danielle. You can find me on Twitter at RyRacontour. And today I am playing Harmony Ward. Harmony is a wizard, and her high concept is that she hates that she loves being a wizard.
Excellent. Then next we will jump to Selena.
Hi, I'm Selena. I am ABCDFAR on the Twitters. I will be playing Nikki Anderson, and my high concept is Werewolf of Maine.
Very good, very good. Jumping over to Zach.
Hi, I'm Zach. You can find me on Twitter at Sir Gorals, and I am your friendly neighborhood wizard dad, Anderson Wells, whose high concept is Community Dad Wizard.
And Anxiety Wizard, maybe a little bit too. Going down to Nick.
Hello, I am Nick. You can find me on Twitter, 2KNick spelled out, so Twok Nick if you're phonetic. And I am playing Percy Hamilton, who is a reformed PI who speaks to ghosts. I think he's the only mortal as well, which is, you know.
Yeah, you're definitely the most vanilla of the mortals, except for the totally normal and not at all spooky Natalie.
Super normal human here.
Mm-hmm.
Hi,
Totally
I'm
normal.
Natalie. Oh, I know. I'm in trouble. You can find me on Twitter at Chaotic Rogue. I play the very super duper normal, definitely not going to be in trouble with two wizards later, Cassara DeWitt, also known as Cass, and her concept, which just gives it all away, white court therapist vampire. What could possibly go wrong?
Everything. Everything.
We're going to die. It's okay.
I might. No, actually, that's a lie. I won't die first.
Nope.
You know it, though.
No, you're super strong. Okay.
Great.
Last time in Portland, the gang, as I am affectionately calling them so far, we finished character creation. We went through essentially everyone's first story, where we kind of did a round robin, involving everyone into each other's story, so that we could really get the nitty gritty of down, like why everyone is in a web of knowing each other. We had a lot of fun. Definitely, my players cherish me as their GM because they gave me so much information and so many plot hooks that I literally am still thinking about them, and it makes me giggle every time I try to close my eyes and go to sleep.
We're all gonna die.
I'm questioning.
So happy.
Now.
This is fine.
I had my own personal notebook that I was writing in, and then it was like they were just reading it back to me, so it was really great. But we then kind of springboarded off of the first story of Cassara Percy and Harmony, who were investigating / trying to bait White Court vampires into eating Percy. Their plan, not mine. And they were saved because the wizard decided to kick a White Court vampire's ass, and drove the White Court vampire away. And so we kind of opened with a combo scene. The first part of the scene was Kasara seeking out Harmony and asking questions. What do you know? I saw you use magic. That's crazy. Harmony was not really having a lot of it and kind of like, yeah, okay, why are you here? But eventually, seeking a master of higher lore, they went to Andy, or Anderson Wells, because it turns out Harmony lives in the duplex next door, because they're the only two full-fledged wizards in Portland. And so Kasara 100% got herself invited in to Andy's home, and they proceeded to talk about the thing that was happening. And as the scene evolved, we kind of faded to black as Andy was about to expound upon the lore of White Court vampires, which the players maybe know enough about so that we could kind of fade to black to Percy and Cole, who were doing the amazing thing of trying to tail the White Court vampire that had previously tried to snack on Percy. Much to Cole's totally didn't know that.
If I had, I'm just saying.
And so the gang, Percy was phoned from a friend. Kasara was trying to get in touch with Percy, where Percy informed Kasara that he was currently tracking the White Court vampire to a house in the Parkside neighborhood, which the gang all kind of knows is the shadier side of town and not so nice. Lots of crime and definitely maybe some things going bump in the night in Parkside. And so in an effort to not let Percy and Cole be by themselves, the gang kind of descended on this home in the Parkside neighborhood. And they began to scout out the area. Cole actually did an assessment. So we have a new floating aspect that has at least one tag, which has not been, if I recall, used yet. Which is, yep, there's my notes. Is unlocked second story window. So there was a second story window that is unlocked. And the other two scene aspects to kind of remind the crew is broad daylight and bad neighborhood. And the group as a whole that were sneaking around back made a fantastic stealth score. Despite Harmony not being even trained in stealth, she managed to channel a pretty cool spell of earth magic to move the earth in a way that would absorb the impact of their footfalls and aid everyone in stealth. As Cole was kind of climbing up to the second story to get to that unlocked window, he was able to notice and was awarded a fate point afterwards, because I remembered that I didn't award him in last session, that people from his past were coming out the front of the house and began to open fire on the people waiting by the car. And so, like good Dresden file fiction, we jump into the middle of disaster. So normally, this is where I would ask in D&D for you to roll initiative, but you all have alertness as a skill, and I have essentially accumulated your alertness skill. Though Percy, you notified me that you have a +2 to initiative, so you actually are going at a 4. So at the top is Nikki Anderson. Nikki, you notice Cole probably tense and like look over into the front of the house, and you do hear, I will say, the strange, unmistakable sound of gunfire.
Yeah.
But unlike gunfire you have probably ever heard, it's more of like a cock, 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 and it sounds very muffled. It does not sound like full gunshots. It sounds very much like they're using silencers.
Okay. So I was boosting Cole up to the second story window at the time. So I legit drop Cole and run around the house and start heading towards everybody else.
Okay. So as a maneuver, you can change. You can change location. So we will say
I will stealth around and peek around the corner towards the front of the house. That's what I will do. I'll be smart about this time.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your stealth.
Okay. I'm using actual dice here. So everybody knows. Well, shit.
Great.
That sounds good.
Uh-huh. I think that's just a 1. Yep, that's a 1. A 1, a 2, a 4, and a 3. So that's a 1.
Yeah, that's unfortunately a 1.
Yep.
Okay, so you do manage to change zones. So you are currently, and for you to remind you all, this is kind of what it looks like.
Sure.
Zone 3 now, because you guys went around back, I essentially signed a new zone. So moving from one zone to the next is just a regular maneuver. And unfortunately, that also means you perform skill checks at a -2. So while you rolled a 1, it's actually -1 to move a zone and do a skill check. So while you are normally very stealthy, unfortunately, perhaps as you were walking in like the little like alley area in between the houses, maybe you accidentally kicked a ball or tripped over something.
A few cans, probably.
Beer cans, definitely, yeah. Maybe even a broken bottle, a kind of crunch of a glass. And you definitely were not sneaky. But you do see these 3 people. 2 are in the street. 1 is still kind of standing on the porch of this house still. And you can see they have what look like pistols drawn, and you can see the unmistakable barrel silencer on the front of the guns. And they are currently firing at the car.
Okay. I would also like to point out that since I'm a forest ranger, I would say I probably have a firearm on me if I'm coming from work. Would you agree with me on that? Because I am specialized in firearms also.
Yeah. I will allow it.
Okay. So
because they did in fact call you at work.
Yeah. So I at least I would have drawn my gun, but I'm shit. I don't really want to start shooting random people.
They're not random. It's okay.
You yelled at me.
They're also shooting at us. I'm gonna go with it's okay.
I'll start. Okay. Yep. I will shoot for the knees. That's what I'm gonna do. Aim for the knees. That's the best.
Shoot to disable.
Yeah, shoot to disable.
Okay. So that'll be what you do on your next turn, because Fate doesn't have the bonus action movement thing. It just has supplemental action. So
but that's what I'm preparing to do. I have my gun drawn.
So you're pulling your gun is kind of like a free action.
There you go.
So Kasara, we come to the totally vanilla mortal that has no idea what they're doing here.
Absolutely none. Wonderful. Can I see where specifically the gunfire is coming from?
Yes. So I'm saying that the car. So I will erase where I've put the car. I'm saying that essentially the car is kind of parked along the street here in this weird square that I'm going to try and color in because I'm super artistic here. And so basically, you all are kind of sitting by the car,
Mm-hmm.
and these people have come out of the room and are heading towards the intersection. And as they come out, they're like taking shots at the car.
Okay.
They just haven't technically got to go yet, so they haven't been able to do anything to you.
Yeah, so they haven't actually been able to do anything.
Except start combat.
Totally didn't notice you guys at all.
No, of course not. And of course they're starting this in broad daylight too.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that we were still in the car.
So Andy, Percy, and Kasara are by the car. You can be standing outside, you can be in the car, you can be near the car, whatever, but you're in that area.
Sure, okay.
And then the other 3 are in zone 3, although Nikki just moved from zone 3 into essentially zone 1.
Okay. And we're the little squiggly car?
You're the little squiggly square, yeah, that's
Right
on the
around
road.
there?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Approximately.
I see it. Yep. Right.
Trying to get my bearings on what is where. And my apologies. And they're located they're around the intersection?
Yeah, so we'll say
They're-
there's like one here and one there. Like they're running, and then there's still one back here.
Okay. Sorry, my map hasn't refreshed yet, so I don't know what that is.
So
Oh,
they're
there
coming
we
down
go.
the street.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I get it.
Beautiful.
I would say I'm probably at the corner, like pointing towards the street, so I can see everybody except for the one on the porch.
Oh, so you came over here?
I'm kind of like in right between 2 and the blank building on the.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's kind of where I had thought you were coming out.
Yeah, that's where I'm thinking from too. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Not
So
throwing my cards out here yet.
totally not a vampire.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, of course not. So I'm going to do something that, a totally normal mortal will do. And she's going to, so I'm going to say she's on the side of the car. She's actually going to go duck around behind the car to try to use that as a shield for right now.
Absolutely. Do you take cover? That's easy.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll, do you need me to roll stealth or anything like that?
Yeah, if you want to roll stealth, you can to try and initiate cover.
Yeah, because that's pretty much what I'm trying to do is just get cover in this moment.
Very believable.
Yeah. Oh God. Sorry. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna end up rolling this because why are you not? There we go. So that's a 5.
Ooh.
Nice.
Good job.
I think that might work. I think that might work indeed.
Yeah.
So-
I'm not as familiar with gunfire, but I would have been like, that's not good. We're gonna just duck and cover at this point and hide from the best. We're just trying to hide from them. I'm not doing anything unless they got real up and close with me, in which case we're gonna have fun.
Okay, so I will say, yeah, exactly. Let's see. There was definitely something. Okay. Yeah, I will say as part of that, you're basically doing full defense.
Mhm.
And so you will be able to add +2 to any defense roll you might be made to make. Like, so basically
Okay,
when
cool.
they start shooting at you for realsies, you'll be able to roll +2 to any of your defenses.
Perfect. Sounds good. Cass is moving defensively right now.
Awesome sauce.
She's used to ducking and covering and hiding, so
Yep.
we're gonna do that.
Very cat's paws. All right, Percy.
Hi.
What's going on?
There's 3.
It's 3 people. Two approaching. We're very rapidly approaching your vehicle, and it's it's Cole's vehicle, and one who's still.
No, it's not.
Coles.
Yeah, it's Cole's vehicle.
The vehicle in
and
which
then-
Cole arrived in.
Yes, the vehicle which you all came in, and then there is one that's standing on the porch. They have not actually opened fire on you. They're doing something. You're not sure what.
So the 2 advancing have opened. The one on the porch has not opened fire. Do I have that correct?
Yes.
Can I have the genders of the 2 people approaching so I pick correct names?
We'll say the 2 approaching you are 2 men. or at least masculine presenting people, though they look pretty man-like. And then the last one you think is a woman, but you're not sure, just because they're kind of far away and still like kind of in like shadow of the porch, so you can't really like, but they have long hair, so.
Okay, so this is a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
I already like it.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, Mikey, bro, what are you doing? It's me. It's Timmy. What are you doing? And I'm going to roll deceit to try and get them to think that I am part of them.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Oh,
Do
God.
you? So I'm looking through your notes right now. Okay, that's contacts. All right, I'll let you roll it.
Yeah, no way this is gonna fail at all.
Nope. Totally gonna survive this.
Eh?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a 3.
Yeah, that's actually, better than I thought was going to happen.
It's good.
Yep.
It's not terrible. So let's see.
Oh, terrible would be -1.
So is this? I'm going to guess this is an empathy roll. So what are
That's
your
what I
alls? Yeah, that's what I figured. Your empathies are garbage.
Yay,
so,
they're mooks. They're dumb. I picked right.
So,
Well, they're-
okay.
They're certainly not a white court vampire. We hope.
There aren't any of those around. It's fine.
Yeah, I
Nope.
don't even think they're Maine, to be honest.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Definitely 0 white court vampires anywhere near the scene of crime.
Yep.
So
Joke this whole campaign.
you say this. You say these names, and they stop and they kind of like look at each other. You haven't gotten their names correct, but they've been given pause. Like, oh, like do we know you? So I will say on their turn, they will maybe not take shots at you, depending on what Cole does. However, you do notice that one of them sees Nikki and may or may not like, hey, whoa, someone's breaking into our house, and might shift their attention. So you have given them pause.
And
they
we've
rolled.
given them pause, as
Yeah.
in a werewolf.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's not happening, right? Eh,
There aren't any
broad
werewolves here.
daylight.
Broad daylight.
Werewolves aren't real.
No werewolves, no white court vampires. We're just a bunch of normal people.
Just a
That's
bunch-
Wizards
There
don't
There will be talks
exist.
later. There will be talks later, but not here. Not right now.
Yeah.
Wizards don't exist, and fairies are in stories.
Yeah. Fairy tales.
Don't
All
believe
right,
in fairies.
all right, Cole. What are you doing?
Well, dangling for a moment because I was halfway into the window.
So it sounds like at least an athletics check to try and
Sounds
like,
like I'm gonna roll athletics to get inside and see what happens from there.
To go inside? Is that it?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm going in
bye.
that. I'm going in
Yep.
that.
Okay.
He's a rogue. He does the stupid stuff for us.
There's
I'm gonna use my free tag on that unlocked window that I've got the ledge on to get a 4 on that to get up in there.
Okay. That.
I will use that free tag.
Yep. So that tag is gone now. Yep. Tag is gone
Well,
now.
Oh, now it costs points.
Now it costs a fate point to use. Yes. And so yeah, Cole, you scramble a little bit, and like oh, and you just kind of like, because the window's open, you're able to like stick your arm in and like grab onto the ledge. You kind of like almost just Superman your way into the window and kind of tumble
Yeah, it's
over.
gonna roll in. Yeah.
And as you do, you enter zone 4, because technically you're on the second story of the house
Sure.
now. And you kind of look around and you realize you are inside of a bedroom. It's a very Spartan bedroom. There doesn't appear to be anyone in here, though with your passive alertness being relatively high, you do hear someone moving upstairs. So there is someone upstairs. They're not in the room you are currently in.
Excellent.
Okay. Yeah. That brings us to the made men / mobsters. Like I said, the one is going to pull their gun and be like, I'm sorry, sir. I don't think we know you.
Come on, we work the harbor job.
And like you can see the like pieces of information are starting to like trying to like, and then the other one's like slaps him and is like, look over there, and raises the gun and will open fire at Nikki.
Okay.
Hey.
So with
What do you
weapons,
need me to roll?
so in order to dodge, generally speaking, dodging gunfire is an athletics.
Okay, I'm good at athletics.
Yeah, you actually are. If I'm going to shoot at anybody, it's you and I think Cole aren't bad at athletics.
Yeah, I can take a shot.
Okay.
Although if I'm really going to shoot at anybody, I should be shooting at Kasara because she has inhuman toughness. But that's okay. Oh, man. Wow.
Oh, shit. I still got a 4 because I got 6, 1, 4, and 3. So
Yeah.
it's a straight 4.
He got
-1.
He got a mediocre shot at you. So you hear this same like it's like this weird like coughing sound that the gun is making as it just kind of like sprays off the plaster of the different buildings next to you, and you kind of like and the one on the porch notices you and then ducks back inside.
Okay.
You know who I didn't put on here because I'm a terrible human being? Harmony as well. But I'm pretty sure their alertness is, yes, that's what I thought. So, Harmony, you go now.
All right. Well, so Nikki just ran off and Cole just climbed up into the house. So I am left alone, cursing quietly in the backyard of this house, trying to figure out what the hell I should do.
Burn it down.
I mean, yes, somewhere in the back of my mind, there's someone saying, just burn the house down. It can't be that bad.
It's the coin talking to you.
Oh, God. Coin.
I'm joking.
What?
I'm joking. She doesn't have a coin. I'm joking.
God, Harmony with a coin would be really terrifying. She's already really angry.
I feel like burn it down is always going on in the back of her mind, wherever she is, pretty much. So.
Yeah, so Harmony's just like, God damn it. And then I'm going to try to get up into the house with Cole because I don't want Cole to be going in there alone. Nikki ran around the front and Andy's around front with everybody else. So Andy ought to be able to hold down the fort up there.
Wow.
So this is going to require an athletics check.
Yeah, I'm not great at that, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
Is it possible for me to reach down and assist?
I will say yes, that you can reach down and assist since you kind of just did an action last time. So this will kind of vaguely count as your supplemental /
Reach out the window. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not trying to move zones.
Yeah, so I move over a little bit, like, Cole, help me get out there.
Yeah.
Cole.
Yeah. So go ahead and I think, let's see, with assisting, you just give them a +2, right? Or no, +1.
+1.
Okay, so that gives me +2 total.
Yeah, better than nothing.
Fair. You did it. That's okay.
You did average. And climbing up this house is about an average challenge. You definitely, I don't know if you've ever tried to climb a building before as Danielle and not as Harmony, but like you definitely like scraped and like kind of give yourself a little bit of like burns and rashes as you scramble up the side, and your fingernails are a little hurty because you had to like kind of grip things that you're not used to gripping maybe.
Try and pull
I rock climb. I get this
muttering
feeling.
angrily the whole time and envisioning the building on fire for these
exactly
petty slights against me.
But you do manage to scramble in. Cole, with your alertness, you hear the footsteps stop.
Oh yeah.
As
We're not being quiet about getting in this window.
Yeah. Maybe. Someone knows you're here now. All right. Last but certainly not least, Anderson Wells.
Hey, it me. So kind of gives Percy this like what look.
Back me up.
Well, he's more worried about the fact that they then turn to, and one of them at least opens fire on Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. It's fine.
I mean, sure, they have stormtrooper accuracy for the moment. So I think I want to try to use earth magic to like yank their guns out of their hands and like magnetize them to the ground. If that's possible.
Some Magneto stuff. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so all right. Cast a spell.
Yep.
So what is your what is the amount of power you're going to be putting into the spell?
I'm gonna put 4 shifts in.
Okay, so your total conviction.
Yep.
So and your discipline is also 4, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right, and so the specifics of what you're trying to do is you're trying to disarm them, pull the guns out of their hands.
Right.
So they will be rolling a defense against you once you have finished rolling.
Okay.
So now you need to roll to control your spell.
So that's a discipline roll, yeah.
Discipline spell, and your target DC is 4.
Okay.
And so as you are conjuring, what is the phrases that you use to cast this spell? And what does it look like?
That's a great question. I haven't figured out yet what language Andy uses for his magic.
Okay. Now is as good a time as any.
Improv.
Yes, I can Google a thing real quick.
Esperanto.
I was actually thinking about having Harmony use something like Esperanto.
Oh shit.
Esperanto. Sure, why not?
That or Welsh. Welsh might be better. He's old enough.
Andy, yeah. So what he's saying is let go, but in Esperanto that's lasso.
That's almost
Lasso, that's awesome.
It's almost perfect.
Lasso.
Oh,
hey,
nice.
Well,
heck of a roll there, sir.
There we go.
Ooh.
As far as what it looks like, he doesn't have a focus for this. So it is kind of a Magneto, like he reaches out and then makes almost a fist and just yanks down.
Very cool.
Nice.
Okay. So they will be rolling against that. You need to take 1 mental stress.
Yep, marked it on my
So
sheet.
it goes in the first mental stress box.
Okay.
And since you beat the DC, you don't have any kind of backlash or fallout, so everything's fine. It works exactly. And as the one was like firing, and the other one's like you feel this. He feels this jerk of the gun come out of his hand. So I will roll athletics for these mooks.
Hey, Kasara gets to see some magic.
Wow. That might actually work. Athletics.
Wait, work for me or work for them?
Oh hell. No. All right, so they don't have any good athletics. So the first guy that was firing, his gun just goes like right out of his hand. Like what the? And the second guy, so I theoretically can beat you if I roll 4+. I did not roll 4+. So the second guy, who's like his also gun like just gets snatched out of his hand and like is just pancaked into the ground, probably like some distance very close to you, because I'm assuming you pulled the guns. Not only did you pull them out of your hand, but you pulled them towards you, so they couldn't just like bend down and pick up.
Right. Yeah. I wanted them. Yeah. Inconvenienced much more than just like, oh well, that was weird, but I have it again.
So that was yes, reminder from the showrunners. Yes, we can't. Our viewers can't see our rolls. So yeah, my mooks rolled a 4 and a 2, or a blank and a 2. So your +4 spell was quite impressive. And Percy and Kasari, Kasari, you're ducking behind a car, so
I mean, I was probably standing like at the front of the car.
Maybe you don't see it. But maybe if you're wearing any jewelry or dangling ferrous metals, they might suddenly like be almost like drawn towards Andy as he pulls that magnetic. Because the one bad thing about earth magic is that it is quite powerful. So you definitely hear doors like rattle because you're actually pulling on the doorknobs of a lot of the houses. I'm
guessing I tug the car a little too, probably.
Yeah, the car probably like kind of like shakes a second. And I will say, because you rolled a pretty good discipline roll, Nikki's gun is not affected. Essentially, that you were able to center it on these two mooks rather than getting. So if you had fallout, Nikki probably would have had to deal with like all of a sudden a magnetized weapon. But
right.
You rolled real well. Awesome. So that brings us. Well, now it brings us to zone 4 at the top of the house.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Because
someone whose initiative is much higher than mine.
Yeah, because they were upstairs and not part of the fight, so they didn't do anything last round.
Sure, it's okay.
So you hear like a and then you hear a and a thump, and you hear someone like so you get the sense that someone just jumped out of a second-story window, landed in the backyard, and just started booking it.
Of course.
Nikki.
Yeah. Do I see that? Is this person running towards me or away from me?
You don't see them running at all. You hear, I will say you have a high enough alertness, given that it's a 5. Yep. You heard this shattering of glass. And actually, Harmony, you heard it too. Percy heard it, and Nikki heard it. The rest of you are too far away to have heard this. Also, because Andy just did this awesome magic spell that kind of made a lot of noise. And
right in there? Is that not where they're running?
So, nope. You get the sense that they are running that way.
Of course.
Okay. Then I hear that, but I continue with what I'm doing, and let me look at the map again. So the person on the porch they went inside, and so that's okay. And that's okay. So that could be them that jumped out of the second-story window. That doesn't make much sense. Okay. I'm still going to kneecap the guys in the street. I don't feel good about it.
I will remind Nikki that these people are currently disarmed.
Oh, they are currently disarmed. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, I know a lot happened, and so I just wanted to make sure you weren't just like, aha, bam, bam.
No, I wouldn't do anything that. I would start walking towards them and say, hit the dirt.
On the ground.
That sounds like an intimidation check.
Shit. Yeah. As a human, I'm not very intimidating. Yep. Okay.
So
I know the feeling, sister.
Yeah. As a human, I'm not intimidating, but it's a 4 when I'm a wolf. Okay. So that's just 0, I think. Yeah, 6, 2 4s, and a 2. So.
All right. Well, they'll roll their mental their social defense because you're socially attacking them. Oh. You said you got a 0?
Yep.
Oh man. One of them got a -1.
Yeah.
So that's 1 social checkbox. You've damaged them 1. And then I'll roll the other social defense. Oh, you guys, come on.
Yeah.
Another social defense fail. So the 2 on the street have just been assaulted with 1 because they both rolled -1. They both rolled
Yes.
Wow.
I'm mediocre at this. Yay.
You are mediocre, and you managed to get them because they rolled a poor defense. So they're kind of like, you get the sense that they're thinking about surrendering, but they're not yet. They're not there yet. They're
and I have a gun pointed at them. So
yeah, that's definitely giving them pause. Definitely giving them pause. Yeah.
There we go.
They don't like that whole bunch. So Kasara, you are ducking for cover.
Yeah. So okay. I'm wearing a necklace. It's probably floated up in the air, and I'm like, what? This is weird. That said, though, so she's got this idea. She probably doesn't see. She's felt kind of something going on, but she doesn't see it go on. So Kasara, being Kasara, is gonna go be an idiot. And probably, I know, right? So my thought process is that house that's beside the car, she's actually going to go around it to see if she can come up between the 2 houses to see if she can get a better vantage point of at least those 2 ex people.
Yeah, definitely. That can be your move over there. And then, you come up right in between those 2 homes.
Yeah.
And you kind of like jump a fence to get back there. But you're a vampire, so jumping a fence is actually not a problem for you.
No one's seen that too. It's great.
I don't know what you mean. Vampire.
Everyone's very, very focused on actually.
No vampires here.
Are you gonna make them into X people?
Oh no, they definitely don't see you do that. Because I was gonna see if the people in the street saw you do that, because they're looking your way. But you hop the fence without a problem. They're very focused on the fact that their guns just got disarmed, and they're mostly focused on the person with a gun pointed at them. So they don't notice you jump the fence. And you are able to like spy on them. You see them, they're disarmed, and you can definitely see their mental calculation of like, can we rush her before she gets shots off? Like you can see like that calculation is happening in their brains right now.
Yeah. And do they seem to be, based on their body language, because that's what Cass does, is study people, do they seem like they're going to try to rush her? Do they seem like they're going to continue to be aggressive?
I think that's an empathy roll.
Cool. I'm fine with that.
Like super good empathy.
If I remember correctly, her empathy is superb. Or no, it's great. Her
no, it is my superb, but I did only got I got 2 negatives on that one, so it's a 3.
Oh shit.
Well, they rolled a 0 and a 1, so they are not able to hide their thought process. You get the sense that they are not out of this fight and they are gonna try and instigate more. Because you beat them by a shift, I will also say they are maybe not quite in their right mind completely.
Okay.
You know that you were tracking down a white court vampire, and then some mooks came out of the house firing at all of you.
Yeah.
You get the sense that these mooks maybe aren't quite in control of themselves completely.
Might be influenced.
Yeah.
Cool.
But there are no white court here. It's fine.
Nice.
Nope, no white court.
No vampires here.
No vampires here.
No vampires here.
I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna stay hiding, like, and watching them to see who they go after and what they try to do. Because one guy got magic, another person's got a gun. I'm not the most concerned for these guys right now.
Yeah. You feel like everything's going pretty well.
Yeah, but I want to be just in a position that if I need to go quite literally bash some skulls in, I can.
Noted. All right, Percy, what you doing?
So, these two people are looking at Nikki.
I love
yes?
it. I love it. That is
Oh, God.
Percy. He.
If they're looking at Nikki, they are not looking at Percy.
I mean, you're not technically wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Could I perhaps roll with a +1 if I were to walk up and maybe do some sort of fist roll on them from behind?
Sucker punch him.
Because I was already approaching them with my deceit roll.
Yeah, what's your stealth? Your stealth's 2, their alertness is 2. I'll say because your stealth and their alertness are about the same, that yes, I will let you have a +1.
Thank you. I
So
don't know
you'll
how
be
to
rolling-
do... I'm just going to roll one of my +2s then, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. So great teaching moment in Fantasy Grounds. So you see where there's that thing that says modifier? If you click on that and you hit 1, it'll say +1. So like the lower left corner.
Oh,
Nice.
And
I
then if
see.
you click on your thing, it should throw that in there and add a +1.
There.
Yeah, all right.
And a 1. Okay, so they'll dodge. So hang on.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Really? Really? So the 1 meets it. So that is, unfortunately, they defend. They manage to like kind of. Well, so you only get to attack 1. So that you manage to like just hear you coming at the last second. Maybe you accidentally step. Are you invoking something?
I would like to invoke winning back the wizard's trust. Andy is here, and I would like to show off in front of him to get
so
+2 on this roll.
So now it's a shift the other way. It's a 1 shift success, and you do damage. So your fists are most likely a weapon 1, because you are, as you have stated, very mundane.
Yes.
So I'm guessing you don't have any kind of brass knuckles.
No, and also, I'm not using my fists. I'm going to walk up behind this individual, say, "She said get on the ground," and headbutt them in the back of the head.
Okay. That is awesome. And he definitely takes a physical stress because of it, and kind of like staggers for a sec. Not looking great. These mooks don't have a lot in the tank, like you all do. Anything else? Seems like a pretty good turn. Although now you are essentially in melee with them.
Kind of maybe flanked if this were another game.
Yeah. Maybe if it was a different universe.
Yeah, I'm all set.
All right, cool. Colt.
What you doing,
Grumble.
Rogue?
Grumble. I didn't
Well,
plan
probably.
any of this. This is totally off the rails. Fine. Yeah, I guess. Find a way downstairs.
So
I
you go
mean-
to You go to the
Yeah.
door and you try the
Yeah, we
handle.
kind of get a feel for
door,
the house.
The door is unlocked. It's not locked, so you open the door. It's kind of a standard two-story house. You're in a bedroom. There's a bedroom next to you, which you gather now that's
It's
the
weird.
one the guy jumped out of the window from. There's a hallway that leads to a downstairs, so it looks like the stairway is on the left side of the house. So if I draw a little bit here, so basically room, hallway. There's a bathroom at the far end of the house, and then the stairs go down this way. And hopefully your map will update soon. And so basically there's a bathroom to your left, stairs to your right, and a wall right in front of you.
All right.
And then, like, I guess also down a little bit and to your right is another door that you assume probably leads into the master bedroom. So it looks like this is like a 3-bedroom house.
Okay. As much as I'd love to capture whoever ran off, we're here more for victims than we are for perpetrators, right? I'm asking, Harmony.
Say what? Sorry.
We're here for victims, right? Not for, well, first priority. Just look in that room. I got this one. I'm gonna use investigation.
But I was gonna try to stop the guy. Don't we want to catch?
Ask the angry wizard what your priority is.
The angry wizard's priority is beating down the guy who's escaping.
Guy who's escaping is escaping.
I don't think we established a priority.
But magic, Cole.
No, I know what the bad guys' goal is for this exchange, but y'all are like,
we just rolled up.
Let me poke my head outside. Give me like 2 seconds,
All right.
and then I'll go to the door.
Take him down. I'll search the house. Fine. Don't get killed.
I'll try not to.
Oh, jeez.
Well, if you do, it's on record that this was not my plan.
Well, you're the one who went in the house after the gunshots.
she's not wrong. Anyways, so Cole, what are you doing?
Investigation check upstairs. I'm just going to kind of get a feel for what's in all these rooms. Just peek in and try and look as quickly as I can to get an idea.
Sure.
So that is investigation, which is I'm not great at, but we'll do it. And I rolled a 3 total, which is good.
Pretty good, yeah.
Mostly because I'm lucky.
Very lucky. So you're in. So sorry. Say again which room you've gone into. The master bedroom, the room you're in, or the room next door.
I just could basically just a quick scan of all the rooms that are upstairs.
Okay, so yeah, you do a quick scan. The room you're in is relatively Spartan. You get the sense that either no one has been staying in this room, or if they do, they don't have any stuff. The master bedroom looks relatively well lived in. It looks like the master bedroom has been converted into like a tiny, like base, like almost like a barracksy base kind of thing, like where there's lots of people staying in one big room.
Okay.
And then the third room, the one that has glass kind of slightly on the floor from someone having just Supermaned out the window, is an office. It looks like it is the size of a bedroom, but has been essentially made into an office. And you see a desk, which is essentially a nice folding table that has been essentially been used as a desk. You see some photos on the wall, like with push pins in them, and they look to be as if someone has quickly torn down a bunch of stuff, but there's still a few pieces remaining. But it looks like a majority of it was very quickly ripped down and maybe either stuffed in a bag or something. It's no longer here. You notice that there seems to have been a filing cabinet here at one point, but it doesn't seem to be here anymore. Only because you see that there are like files laying on the ground, like in a spot where it would make sense that someone had taken files out and then was using like a file cabinet, but the cabinet is missing for some reason. Obviously, you didn't hear someone huck a filing cabinet out the window, so it's potentially a recent thing that this file cabinet is missing.
Sure, no one could possibly be strong enough to hook one under their arm and jump through the window.
There's no vampires here.
And there
Or werewolves.
is there is a suitcase in the room as well.
Excellent. All right.
So that's what you know.
Probably about all I'm gonna get in one exchange.
Yeah, that's about, yeah, you kind of move through the build. Luckily, all of the doors are unlocked, so you didn't have to waste your time opening into the doors. All right. So because I accidentally forgot to put Harmony on the board last time because humans error. Harmony.
Yes. Okay. So if I like poke my head back out of the window, is this person who's running away close enough that I could still hit them with a spell potentially?
Interesting that you should ask that question. So you see a man wearing a nice suit, booking it, and I don't know how athletic Harmony is as far as like the Dresden-esque, like he goes running around Lake Michigan because he has to run away from stuff all the time.
Yeah, she's probably not quite at that level, but she's at least decent.
So you know, you like are able to, because you're a wizard, you're pretty good at keeping time of things and knowing like you have a good mental awareness of your world. This person has gotten way too far away for the amount of time that they jumped out that window. So they are running at a speed that is inhuman. You can probably still peg them with a spell.
Okay.
But it's going to be dangerous because if you lose control of the spell, the fallout will happen very far away from you. And potentially, he's running through the neighborhood right now, so keep that in mind.
Funny you should say that, because what I want to do invoke is actually something I designed for one of my rote spells.
Ooh.
So there is no danger of backlash or fallout as far as I'm aware.
Fun. What we got?
So, it's going to be level 4 because that's that's my discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is an earth. I'm not sure what I want to call it, but it's essentially it's like a dome of earth that rises up to enclose said person. And
awesome.
It's a version of a binding, but it's like you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, this is kind of like a block. Okay.
I wouldn't know what to call that either. It sounds like some kind of tiny hut.
It's an offensive hut.
Offensive hut. Offensive tiny hut. It's a traveling tiny house. It's fine.
I want to call it Harmony's tiny hut.
Perfect. Tiny hut.
It's so cute. Sorry, I'm good.
Good for and for stopping by, guys.
It's perfect.
Okie dokie. Let's see what happens. Awesome.
So, okay. So,
don't hurt the hut. I like it now.
Yes, someone in the chat said rock tomb. Yes.
I'm not responsible for these people.
Okay, so I still have to make a discipline roll, right?
I am.
No. Rote spells, you don't have to control them. You just take the stress and you act like you rolled a 4 discipline.
Okay.
So it just happens.
So I'll take one more mental stress, but then it just happens.
Yeah, you take a mental stress for casting a spell, and then I have to roll a defense roll against your 4.
Okay.
Because you're kind of trying to block him, but at the same time you're trying to entomb him. So you're kind of trying to like take him out.
Yeah.
So we'll say for the purposes of this, you're kind of attacking him. but he will roll on his turn to try and get out of the block because you're essentially trying to stop him from moving.
Okay. Yeah. So that sounds fair. Yeah. So that's my goal here is to stop him from getting away so that we can go hopefully do something to him later to get him to give us the information he can.
So what does this look like? And what does Harmony say as she leans out the window?
God, I don't know the exact words. I haven't gotten that far yet. But I haven't even decided what language she's using. But as far as what it looks like, I think like the earth just sort of shivers and then the rock just rises up from all directions, like at the same time and meets in the dome at the top.
Very, very cool.
He's running full tilt.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too. He's just gonna run full tilt into it and just knock himself out.
Yeah.
It depends on how thick it is.
Well, it's level 4, so power 4, so it should be hefty.
It's going to be pretty hefty. Definitely going to be pretty hefty. All right. Very cool.
A lot of rock.
Yeah. Definitely it's not going to have any geological consequences.
Good thing we're on the East Coast and not the West Coast.
In broad daylight.
In broad daylight.
All right.
I haven't done anything yet. I didn't do anything. It's not my fault.
All right. So this brings us to the made men. The first one standing next to Percy is going to be like, son of a, and he just is going to spin around and try and knock your block off. Oh no, goodbye, die. Actually, no, he's going to try and grab you to hold you for his friend so he can knock your block off. So he's going to try and hold you. You can roll a defense of athletics.
You can do it, Percy!
I mean, probably not, but here we go. 1 plus 2 is 3.
So,
not terrible!
So that's pretty great. Unfortunately, he rolled +4.
Oh, shit.
So he grabs you and essentially tags you with the aspect, and it's a very fragile tag, restrained, so that his buddy tries to sock you in the fist or in the face with his fists. Oh, and his buddy just totally freaking tanked, but he will tag to reroll because that was terrible. Oh my god, I did the same roll. All right, so it's 3 is -1 is 2. So he hits you for 2. So for 1 damage with a shift of 1. So you take 2 damage, 2 physical damage.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I was considering using a fate point, but
fair enough. So he just kind of like, so the one like grabs you and like kind of like holds you, and you're like, uh-oh, just boom, right in the face.
But I know what I'm doing on my turn now.
Perfect. Cole, remember how I said that one of those made men went inside the building?
Yep.
As you come out in the second bedroom looking down the stairs, you look down the stairs and you see the other made man narrow his eyes at you and raises his gun that he still has. And now you know that it's a he because you can see him in the with the lights on the building. And he starts shooting at you.
Great.
So
Great.
Go ahead and roll your defense.
Great. Defense is athletics to dodge this bullet.
Duck, dodge, dip, dive, dodge.
Dodge.
Ooh.
Front row.
I am.
Fate points, right?
Yeah, I do have some fate points. I'm going to tag my high concept of Puka Cat Burglar and be nimble and re-roll.
Okie dokie. So subtract that fate point.
Yep. Well, fortunately, that's fine. Try that crap again.
Hey!
Much better. I'll take that.
Hot dang.
That's a good swing.
forward.
So he rolls a +4 as well.
Nice.
So it is exactly nil. So that means I believe 0 shifts is a minimal success. So
Whatever the weapon.
So you take 1 damage. Because normally you guys know that handguns are usually 2 damage, but you get the sense because of the silencer, it's probably reducing the speed at which this bullet is flying, and so it's doing less damage.
Okay.
But it is not drawing as much attention.
I can fix that.
Yeah, I can fix that.
Yeah, much less attention than the domes of rock and the Magneto gun yanking and yeah, no, it's fine.
Magic.
Mine didn't leave a thing that will exist afterwards, at least.
Everything's fine.
Not so subtle.
Anderson Wells, what are you doing?
So I have a question about magic.
Magic questions are great.
Don't we all? Don't
So,
we all? I got lots of questions about magic.
Yeah. So one of my powers is I took refinement and chose +1 to my power for air.
Okay.
So does that mean that I get a free up on the conviction for an air spell?
Yep.
Am I understanding that right? Okay.
And I believe a free your air is conviction and discipline +1. Like it's
okay.
+1 on both, I'm pretty sure.
Well, because they said that you can either choose power or control, so I didn't know.
It's either or.
Oh, is it either or? Okay.
Because
was only for focus items.
I also chose control for the free specialization you get out of evocation for air. So that.
Never mind. There you go.
So that's equal. And so one of my rotes, then I was making sure I understood it right, is a 5-shift air blast.
Oh shit!
Called Sinsekvo, which is gust in Esperanto. As I'm going. So my idea is Andy then reiterates, "She said down," and then says Sinsekvo and just at the guy who just punched the crap out of Percy.
Okay, so you're single targeting.
Yes. Because I don't think I can control it enough to not also knock Percy on his ass.
So with evocation, with rote, the power is set. But what you could do is you could downshift, and so you could essentially target 3 power at one and 2 power at the other, and so it would be a lesser attack, but you could attack. Or you could just pile on and 5 attack one dude, and now I don't
want to kill somebody.
So in Fate, and so this is for the audience as well. In Fate, typically fights are not to the death unless you, the player, or me, the DM, is essentially playing for keeps. And I would have told you if these people were playing for keeps.
Okay.
They did a very bad job with their guns, so you didn't get to see what they were going to do because you took them away too fast, which is good for you guys. Good job. Yeah, normally I would be like, these guys look like they're playing for keeps or something. Like these people are coming at you with an intent to murder you, because otherwise you essentially just get taken out. And if you take them out without them conceding, you get to describe how they're taken out. Similarly, vice versa. So if I take you out, I get to describe. But if you choose to yield, you still lose the contest or the conflict, but you have some say about how you are taken out, rather than just, I knock you unconscious and I steal all of your stuff and I leave you naked in an alley. You can say something like, well, I flipped the car on Cowell, and while it doesn't kill him, he has to leave because he's drawn too much attention. So like Cowell took Dresden out in that fight, but Dresden was able to withdraw because he was able to get enough attention on that fight that Cowell left. But he still lost that fight.
Right. That makes sense.
So, if you
think
want
I-
to point, of level 5 weapon at this dude who's beating the crap out of Percy,
That was
I am okay with that.
that was my intention at the get-go was no, I want to display that nope.
I don't know if you can change a rote with it still being and it still be a rote. It's
yeah. I'd have to read the specifics of the rope, but I think as long as the power shifts are the same, it's okay. But regardless, level 5 weapon coming at me, I have to roll defense. Okay, which of these dice should I roll? Oh no.
Do I need to roll to target him or anything?
Nope, it's just a level 5 weapon
Cool.
that you just shot at this guy. Crap. Yep. So he just goes cartwheeling through the air and just tumbles in his Kasara. Because you're like peeking around the corner.
Please describe what I see, because this is excellent.
You hear this, you hear Andy, and maybe you've just kind of only been dealing with Andy a little bit, and maybe Andy's a little pissed at this point, and you hear him bark this out. She said down. And then you hear him say a phrase that you've never heard before, and you hear this hurricane gust wind that is funneled into a tiny little beam just punch into this man, and he's like got his fist raised back to punch Percy in the face again, looks to his right and just goes sideways. His head bounces off the pavement of the street, and he just kind of ragdolls a few more feet before he just lays unconscious on the ground, sprawled out like a toddler having passed out after playing all day. He is out because he only has 3 physical damage ability, so he's just gone. And Andy, you have to take a mental stress.
Yes.
If
Andy
Cass-
is the guy.
if Cass already wasn't sure about telling these people what she is, she's like really, really scared too now.
Oh look, he just flung him like he was a toy.
Yeah, I mean,
To be a very-
you probably saw Harmony's Earthbind thing previously, because that's probably how she stopped the
Oh,
vampire.
probably.
Welcome to
So-
Wizards.
This will be a hard conversation to have.
But I
This is
mean, yeah,
great.
like Andy
Cass is
doesn't
never having this conversation.
like
No,
Andy
no,
You and
doesn't
I are having this conversation.
Andy doesn't
Sure. You don't
like
scare
Percy
me.
a lot, but Percy's a member of the community, and that
You're
means
your dad, wizard.
he's my son. So
All right.
Thank you for protecting your idiot son.
no problem.
I can see Andy
Anytime.
adopting us all, and then I get disowned from the family as soon as we find out what happened.
You're the white sheep.
I'm gonna say right now, Percy owes me a beer, at least one.
All right. So it is now the top of the round where that definitely mundane human that is running at top speed is going to try and get out of this block. Oh, it hurts so bad. That was a -3 roll. So that's a +1 to defense. And
Do not
so
have any fate points to spend.
he does not for reasons.
For reasons.
For reasons. There's a reason why he doesn't have any fate points.
Don't like that.
I'm okay with him not having any fate points. I'm just,
Yeah, no. I thought about it, but there's a reason why he doesn't. So that brings us to
fair.
Nikki.
I'm going to. Okay. Well, I'm gonna shoot my gun in the air and say, "Get the hell on the ground." Can I add that to my intimidation in any way?
yeah.
I will say. So I will say this for you, Nikki.
Okay.
Before you shoot your gun in the air,
Okay.
you hear the strange barking sound coming from inside the house, and you know that
Right.
Cole is inside of the house, and you don't know what's happening, but you hear this cock cock cock.
Okay. I forgot about that. I did forget about that. So I will ask Andy, do you got this?
Yes.
Okay. I
Andy has gone full Darth Vader.
I mean, it's just
And-
one guy left. I'm pretty sure I got this.
I trust you.
Yes.
I trust your methods. We've worked together before. We got this.
Yeah.
I
Percy's
head
got this.
inside,
Yeah.
and so I.
So you move zones, and literally standing like within striking distance inside of the house is a guy with a gun, with a silencer, shooting up the stairs at Cole, who's like dodging at the top of the stairs.
Could I possibly hit him with the butt of my gun?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that'll
So
be either a fists, or if you are trained in weapons, you could potentially do a weapons training.
I would prefer to do fists because weapons is only one.
Go for it.
Awesome.
And so they will defend. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
that's what I was
That's
afraid.
that's a 5 because I got a 6, 6, 5, and a 4. So that's 3 plus 2 is 5.
Dang.
Well, I guess I'll roll to see how badly you beat the crap on this man. So Cole, you just got like winged in the shoulder, and you're like, son of a. You watch the door open, and you see Nikki like, just cold cock this guy in the back of the head, and he just drops like a sack of potatoes. Just no preamble, no like, and she just kind of like looks down at him and like looks up at you, and he's just out.
Thumbs up.
Damn.
Find anything in here?
So as you kind of look around, you see this stairway that's heading up to the top floor, and then you also see kind of a great room, with it kind of open floor plan into the kitchen, because obviously, why would you not have an open floor plan? You know, if HTV was had our way, we'd all have open floor plans, and there'd be no more conflict ever. But it's basically a great room that kind of opens into the kitchen, and the kitchen kind of tucks around behind the stair area,
Okay.
and you get the sense that there's probably a downstairs here as well.
Right.
But
We heard there was a basement.
in the great area, in this great room area, you see, what can not be mistaken for anything other than kennel cages.
Oh no.
And there are nobody inside any of them. There's nothing inside any of them. But you're pretty sure dogs weren't inside of these kennel cages.
Like dogs? Or...
No. Dogs were not inside of these cages.
sorry.
So these were probably being used to smuggle something else.
Mm.
Maybe humans, or maybe something of a different variety.
Okay. Is that all I can gather in this one action?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you just took a person to Sleep Town real easy. So yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. Kasara.
Cool. So the one guy has been flown. How far back was that guy flown?
I'd say a good 10, 20 feet.
Okay, so like, because I want to go check that body.
Sure.
He's
but I don't
not
want to.
dead.
Huh?
He's not dead.
No,
It's
I
not
meant
a
Just
body.
unconscious.
He's just unconscious, and like I want to check that. I don't know. You've just done something scary, and I'm kind of like, oh, okay. And having seen that they are not okay in the head, I kind of want to give them a look over.
Fair.
And so it's kind of gonna go check the body, figuring that other one. I'm like, yeah, those guys have that. I am not concerned.
Fair.
I don't need to do anything. I don't need to do any heavy lifting right now.
So are you trying to like loot the body, or are you actually trying to like look into his mind?
I'm gonna go with. We're just gonna stick with simple loot the body.
Okay, so I'd say that's probably just an easy investigation check.
I turn every character I play into a rogue somehow. This is weird. Anyways, sorry. So investigate.
Yeah, investigate.
Oh, perfect. Well, I got at least a 1 on that one. Woo!
Gee, mini crickets.
bad.
So So yeah, you examine this person's body decently well. They don't appear to be hiding any gold coins or copper pieces, but they do appear to have a gun holster underneath their jacket. They have a spare clip of ammo.
Do they have a wallet identification?
And they're carrying a wallet on them. And when you open it, you see a Massachusetts driver's license.
Okay.
You see the name Sean Delaney, though you're not sure if it's a fake or not.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea who this person actually
Who the hell
is.
knows?
There's like, I'd say $50 in cash in the wallet. There's at least one credit card. And there is a Charlie card inside the wallet. For those who don't know from Boston, Charlie card is how you ride the T.
Oh, okay, cool. And like so I check through his items, and can I like do the whole open the eye thing and just see how his eyes are looking?
Yeah. So you have your therapist, so you have had a cursory because I'm guessing you're not actually a doctor.
No, this is like
professional therapist.
Yeah.
PhD.
Yeah. So you kind of like have done a CPR class or
I've done some like basic health training.
Yep.
Didn't go very well. It was actually really difficult to take the course, and
that's why I'm laughing, because I'm just thinking about someone trying to like teach you the Heimlich.
I have to give mouth to mouth. Let's see how this turns out.
It
was not a good day that was a great day kind of for somebody, but also not really.
That's why they use dummies now.
Yeah.
Best worst day.
So
is why the local school has to use dummies.
You check the pupils, and they do. Now he's also unconscious, so but he still doesn't look right. His eyes are, now that you're like close and you can look at it, his eyes are bloodshot. Classic like almost insomnia characteristics of his eye. Like his eyes are all bloodshot, and he looks like he's got super baggy, puffy eyes.
Hasn't been sleeping at all.
Hasn't been sleeping very well. His eyes are not doing well. And also, now that because you rolled a decent investigation check, you're pretty sure. Like you can see in his like fingernails, it looks like he's been like scratching himself, almost nervously.
Okay. Cool.
But other than that, he looks like he's just a normal, like dressed human. He doesn't look like he's like hiding any other things.
He just hasn't been sleeping.
He hasn't been sleeping.
He's been scratching, anxious, nervous.
Sleeping pretty good now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You're helping.
Yeah, we're helping. All right.
Okay, that's me. That's pretty much what she's going to spend her time doing.
Cool. Percy.
I'm going to do a fist, and then depending on how good or bad this goes, I'll describe the disaster that follows.
Cool beans. So he will attempt to defend your fist attack. God, all of these dice are betraying me. I don't even know. Holy crap. So that is a 2 as well. And so you just beat his defenses. So you managed to connect.
Question.
Yep.
How do you feel about me using a fate point to invoke something that was placed on me? I would like to use the grappled condition that was placed on myself.
To hurt him?
Yes.
So basically he's so close to you that it's easier for you to hit him?
Correct.
Oh, if you spend a fate point, I will let you do that.
Okay, so I'm going to spend 2 fate points. One on that.
Okay.
And one on Hard Life of Partying. And fights broke out at parties all the time, and generally when Percy got grabbed as a youth, he would just pendulum his leg backwards as quickly as possible and hope that it landed between someone's legs. And in this case, because he is so close, he cannot avoid that.
Oh.
This poor man.
Yep. Yeah,
Oof.
So that would be a 6 with the 2 plus 2s. 6 shot between the legs.
Wow.
That's 4 shifts.
It's
guy's not having any kids.
Yeah, so you hear this like, and he just falls over out. You just take him out because you exceed his physical threshold. You might have also done a mental point of damage as well as he went
I
down.
have to say, Cole's in the house and he winces. Just like, I heard that.
Because y'all are good at that. So yeah, he goes down. And
Ow.
for the moment, though, I will let Cole, Harmony, and Anderson do something before I give what's-his-face one more time to do something. So I guess we will go to Cole. What are you doing, Cole?
Well, okay, so I didn't see anybody else on this level.
I mentioned
All
the
right.
dog cages to him too.
Oh, it's I'm kind of grabbing the shoulder and going down and to the basement.
Okay. You are able to find the basement. It is locked. It is padlocked.
All right, then I guess I'm gonna get to the door. Can I do burglary on that?
You can definitely roll a burglary check.
Fantastic. And since time is of the essence, I'll mention that I have Safecracker, which lets me do it really quickly.
Very good. That actually will downshift the time increment. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of a half a minute, it'll be a few moments.
So let's do.
For those of you watching at home, Fate works with time increments as well.
I could.
So that's definite. That's a fantastic safe crack. And so yeah, you are able to, despite the fact that it's a master lock, you're able to master lock.
Oh, it's not
Click.
master locks are easy, man. You just gotta get in there, dang with the big,
And
it pulls a big pen out and just.
maybe quite not that bad, but yeah, you just hear that satisfying kunk as the lock lets go. And you are able to open the door, and you will be able to proceed downstairs next turn.
Perfect.
Harmony.
Yes. So
You've watched your what do we call it? Rock tomb.
Yes.
Entomb this person who was running away.
Okay. But what I don't know is whether or not that guy can break out of it.
Correct.
So it behooves me to get the hell over there as quickly as I can. So I am going to come running down the stairs at top speed, mostly looking for Cole, because at this point, that's the only person I think is in the house. I'll be a little bit surprised when I find Nikki at the bottom of the stairs. And I'm just like, guys, I got him. And I just take off running out of the house.
Wait, what?
Okay, so you use your action to essentially sprint.
Yes.
And so I will say you get out of zone 2 into zone 1, and you are almost to what is essentially now zone 5, because this totally normal human has added a 5th zone to our combat because they are trying to run away, and you essentially nab them at the outskirts of combat.
Yeah, and as I come out into the front too, if I see Andy standing there, I'll be like, Andy, need you, bad guy, and then just keep running around the.
So you are approaching this thing by yourself. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I don't get away.
Yep. Anderson Wells, you watch as your good, close, confidant wizard friend comes ripping out of the house and says, Andy, bad guys this way, and just keeps running.
Bad guys here.
Oh, that was almost all over the computer. So what are you doing, Andy?
Oh, it's my turn now.
Yep.
I turned to Cass and Percy and you guys have got this, right? There's a bad guy, I guess.
Yeah, go.
I think he has it more than I do, but yes.
Okay, just scream real loud or something, and then he'll
Sprint after her?
sprint after Harmony. Yeah.
Okay, so
Harmony, way!
you guys are gonna arrive on the scene at the same time.
This has
Great.
never happened before, where Harmony took off running and Andy goes, Harmony, wait!
No. Nope.
All right, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Is there any way I could argue for this being? I don't know how these work yet, but for this being a sort of everybody calls Andy thing? Because like his attention's being pulled in two different.
Yes, I will let you be compelled.
Okay.
You will have a fate point.
Okay.
I will let that happen.
Cool.
So you can gain a fate point for sure. You're
Thanks.
having to choose. All right. So now I have to look something up real fast. Blah 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 blah.
For our totally vanilla human guy.
Yeah, super. I mean, I feel
Who
like
doesn't have any fate points for some reason.
yeah.
Dresden Files. All about those super vanilla normal humans.
Right? Yeah, there's a lot of those.
That is
Yep.
what this entire campaign is just
We're all normal people.
vanilla
Everyone's
humans.
normal. No
I
one's
mean-
Cool. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Oh, good.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Someone's about to be very mad at me.
So yeah, but that's okay. So yeah, it's
Oh
fair.
no.
Okay.
No.
So let's see what
So
happens.
worried because this will decide what
great.
I do.
This is great. Everything's awesome.
Uh-huh.
That's
Everything's fine.
Oh, that was almost crazy good. So that's a minus
Well,
one.
good that it wasn't.
I think we're glad it's not good.
That's a plus 5. So
Oh shit.
4. So Harmony, you come charging around the corner and you watch as your cocoon goes and explodes outwards as this human-looking character like just shoulders through the wall of your dome and blows
It's
out.
the juggernaut.
And Harmony,
Yeah.
you're staring at him in shock, so I am going to give you a fate point to compel a soul gaze.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh.
Yes.
Not in badly at all.
So, soul gaze happens.
Ooh.
So, what do soul gazes for Harmony look like?
So Harmony was originally training to be a computer programmer before she found out she was a wizard and that was not going to be a viable career. But she has retained some of that. And for her, magic is very much sort of tampering with the base code of reality. So when she uses her soul gaze and looks at people, she sees them kind of like the Matrix, where she can like read into their the core of their code, so to speak.
Okay, very cool. So, because this is a contest, technically, the two of you roll a mutual physical attack. Each participant rolls their conviction as an attack against the other's discipline, dealing mental stress if successful. At each player's option, the attack may serve as a maneuver instead, landing a temporary aspect on the other person if successful. The second component is information. Each gazer gets involved, metaphorical glimpse of the other's soul, which is described by the GM and the players. The essential nature of each participant is made plain to the other. While some details may be hidden, it is crystal clear who each person is, with a italicized is. This might result in a character aspect being revealed to one or both participants. If you took stress or consequences in the first part, it's safe to say the other person knows an aspect of yours. So if you want to use your soul gaze as a maneuver, you can. All right?
All right, so I have to roll my conviction against their discipline.
Yep.
So let me grab that. Fortunately, I am very good at conviction. But I rolled really poorly.
Still a 4.
Well, yeah.
All right. Discipline roll. So you deal them 1 mental stress. So you got the better of that one.
Okay.
And then he will convict you. And by that, I mean crap. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Discipline 4.
Yep. So go ahead and roll your discipline as a defense.
Okay.
Oof.
Nice.
Ooh, I rolled high.
Holy crap. Yeah, he does not. He does not attack you. He rolls a blank, +2. So he rolls a +2 against your 6.
Queen of Soul Gazes.
So you are not. So essentially, you're going to get the better of this deal. despite the fact that it's going to be a surprise to you. So you look into this thing soul. And you kind of see the world freeze, and you just like dive in Matrix style into the base programming of this creature. And you see that this creature has 2 operating systems. The first operating system is something you're familiar with: humans, normal, nothing that isn't too scary, nothing that isn't you're not used to. Like your probably first soul gaze was likely with a human, because it was probably a friend that you accidentally looked at too long, and you see this normal code that is totally what you're used to. But then as you gaze at it longer, you start to see this insidious program that is basically underwriting everything else. And it is, for a lack of a better word, a hungry program. It demands more and more computational resources from this computer that is the person, constantly wanting more, constantly demanding more. And you feel that this white court vampire is in search of something. And because you have won the mental stress exchange, you are able to suss out that one of the aspects of this vampire is something to prove. Or, that's close enough. And that they are hungry for not only feeding their inner demon, but they're hungry for ambition, like an ambitious hunger. And so, looking back upon you, the vampire sees you as a wizard and sees your, history. And because you are soul gazing NPC, we won't necessarily. I know what the NPC sees. So Andy, you run around the corner because you're just a little bit behind, and you see Harmony stop, and and then you enter the fray. And you see the white court shake his head, and he is going to keep trying to running away. He's trying to leave the combat. He doesn't want to get involved with you all. So he makes to keep running. Nikki, we kind of jump to you. You're inside. You saw Harmony run outside. You hear Cole go around, and he's unlocking the door.
Shit. Okay. There's 2 wizards there. They should be fine, right?
We've really split this party.
Yeah, you guys are great.
I'm weighing options in my head. I take a peek outside, see that everything's okay outside for right now, at least with the two.
I'm inspecting a body, and Percy, I don't know, Percy can't deal with the other one.
Just dropped a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. I even say, you guys cool out here? And then I don't really wait for an answer, and I head downstairs into the basement.
Okay. So you and Cole can kind of head down together-ish.
Yeah.
And what you see is you see what looks to be the middle of an operation of cleaning up. There appear to be weapons down here. There appear to be cash down here. And there appears to be old body bags that aren't currently in use.
Oh, jeez.
Have previously been used, but...
Maybe.
Okay, yeah, sure. Why would you throw them away? Yeah, no, it's fine.
These are vampires we're talking about. Shit. Okay. So there's nobody in the body bags. There's no bodies that we're seeing at all. Okay.
No, and given the layout, and you only saw 3 people, and then a fourth. There are not enough people in this house currently to essentially fill out all of the things you've seen so far. There are too few people in this house.
So we just raided a den. Is my thought process right now? Is we raided some sort of den?
Yeah, or like safe house.
Exactly. Okay. Okay. Shit.
Nice
Okay.
flash fiction there.
Damn.
Reduce,
I don't know what
reuse,
to do.
recycle.
So if you wanted to investigate or do anything else, you totally can.
Sure, I'll investigate further. Just a more thorough investigation than what you just told me.
Yes. Cole is going to investigate those piles of cash.
Okay, so 2 3s and a 6 and a 5, so that is a 5. Superb.
Oh, you have a +3 investigation?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, what I mentioned before, you discover. You also discover that just like Cole found upstairs, it looks like things are missing. It looks like specific things are missing.
Okay.
You're not sure what those things are, but it just looks like if there's a pile of weapons and a pile of cash, there's like this weird empty space in between them that there shouldn't be. Like, why is there an empty space there? Like, it looks out of
Suspicious.
place. Yeah, it looks suspicious.
Like a laptop. It's where the bomb would have been.
Or the drugs.
Or a laptop
Whatever.
could have been, or yeah, something like that. Like, there's pieces of this desk and this like layout missing. It's like there's a space for the snack platter, but there's no snack platter. Snack might be human in this case.
Snack platter.
Yeah. Snack platters were up in the living room.
So we will jump back, and yeah, Cole, you can totally take the money.
I mean, I'm already in trouble with the mob. What are they going to do? Come up here and shoot at me?
There's $20,000 in small bills.
Holy shit! That's
See, I told you coming for a ride would be worth it.
So, Kasara and Percy, since you're out on the street, what are you two doing?
Hey, so
I'm secretly a ninja. Don't piss me off, because I'll nut kick you so hard that you'll pass out.
That shit was crazy, right?
It's been a weird day.
Guy's coughing blood.
are you okay? I didn't see you in all that, but
totally
I didn't see
vanilla
much.
human. Yeah, she's fine.
I made sure to stay hidden. Are you okay? Also, there's something very wrong with these people.
At that point, Percy's going to see what's going on down the way with the two wizards and be like, I'll be right back.
Oh shit.
He's gonna go run to the guns that are hopefully now demagnetized.
I'll say at this point they finally are, yeah.
Do guns have a... Could I shoot at the vampire from the range that I currently am?
So they're around the corner, so you run, and you're gonna run around the corner to try and get line of sight?
Yes. Although if they're around the corner, would I have seen them?
You don't
Seen
know.
them run.
Yeah,
You would
okay.
have seen them run around the corner. You don't know there's a person over there.
Then rewind. Not picking up the gun.
Okay.
So Percy's just going to go and pick up the silver ring that fell off of his hand during the magnetism and put it back on.
Okay.
And start looking around for something. But
Are you looking for something in particular, or?
So to Cass, it would look like he's looking absently around, but to the storyteller and audience, he is looking for Manny. His ghost
Yeah.
His dead
his
ghost boyfriend.
His dead ghost boyfriend. It's fine. We're all great here. Are you just looking for him, or are you trying to like channel something with him?
No, this is more the ring fell off and he felt disconnected for a moment.
Okay.
So
You see Manny is kind of like looking at one of the bodies of actually we'll say Manny's actually looking at the same body that Cass just got finished like fiddling with and giving a once over. He's kind of like looking his head back and forth like, huh, that's very weird. Part of his soul's missing. He's kind of like casually mentions that.
The soul's missing.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know anything why a soul would be missing? Turning and looking at Cass.
Absolutely no idea. Is that something
Mm.
that I know I will roll for this?
Oh,
I have
yeah.
zero qualms about this.
Let's roll that deception check.
Is that versus empathy?
That is verse empathy, yes. Unless you have something that lets you use something else. But normally it's against empathy, yeah.
Alright, so 4 plus 1 is 5 for my empathy.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
that's fine. Bring it.
Hey!
I'm an investigator. I need to know things.
So, Cass is like, I have no idea. And it sounds disingenuous. It sounds not quite sarcastic.
Rehearsed.
A little rehearsed, and maybe just this like tiny bead of recognition. Like she kind of knows maybe what happened.
Doesn't want to let it on, clearly.
I give like a side eye to Manny, like, And
He kind of just like, humans are weird.
we'll chat later. Where's Cole and Nikki?
I think they're still inside. I'm just gonna go try the front door and see if...
It's wide open right now.
It is wide open.
Perfect. I'm gonna go inside and check on them. And that's actually where she's just like, as she does the I have absolutely no idea and like clearly faking that, she's just kind of like not taking her eyes off of Percy, but kind of just walking towards the door. And when she finally gets to the door is when she'll finally stop watching him and go inside.
Okay. Percy, you following her in?
I'm gonna go get a gun, then I'll follow.
Okay. Do you get both guns just so that there's not guns laying around the ground? Or do you leave one?
I mean, it's a bad neighborhood. They're gonna get picked up by somebody.
I mean,
It's up to you. If Percy grabs one gun, Percy grabs one gun.
yeah. I was trying to see if I could turn this into a compel somehow to leave one of the guns, but no, I'll leave one gun. It's fine.
Okay. So back to the wizards. You just watched this thing break out of this dome of rock that Harmony knows to be pretty strong. And it looked like he shouldered his way out of it. And I will say this, Andy, for you, because Harmony Soul Gaze is you absolutely know what he is now. As the Soul Gaze snaps, Andy, you don't look into his eyes fast enough. You don't look into his eyes long enough for a Soul Gaze, but you see his eyes are a very silvery white color right now because he just tapped some of his hunger.
Great.
To break out of that.
Is my lore 5 enough to know and pretty
1000%. You know that you are facing a White Court vampire, which kind of makes sense because apparently Harmony might have accidentally punched one of these things in the face already. And now Harmony, now that you've made the Soul Gaze, you remember this person. You're like, oh shit.
Oh no!
This is the White Court vampire.
It's the
Excellent.
same one.
Same one.
I'm so glad it's you two dealing with it. I'm just over here.
Yeah.
I am not here. It's fine.
So at this point, you get that he's trying to get away.
Yep.
So he's surrendering in the sense that like he's running away. You could push and try and prolong the conflict and try to stop this thing from leaving. But you know that he's trying to run away. So just as a player / character, like you know that he doesn't want any part of the two of you. He's trying to leave.
And Harmony's up first of the two of us, I assume.
Yes. Technically Harmony gets to go first.
Okay.
Yeah, so as a player, I recognize that he's trying to run away. As Harmony, she's not really the type to let something like this go.
Oh boy.
Especially if she knows it's the same one who tried to eat Percy.
Perfect.
Were you ever told that Percy initiated that?
Percy volunteered for that.
Yeah,
well,
so,
I didn't know Percy.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, good. This is good. Everything's good here.
Yeah, no one knows Cass's and Percy's awesome plan. What I'm calling it.
Also, he's trying to get away, which is suspicious as hell. Like, I'd like to know.
I mean, he's facing two wizards.
Well, you mean yes, but like we could have talked, and instead he sent people out with guns. Like,
Well, he's also a light court vampire, so.
So I will say this.
Rude.
And correct me if this is not something I can do, but I'm gonna start like moving like I'm gonna do something. And Andy, if you want to try to intervene, I am okay with that.
GM.
But
yeah, if you are like no, don't. We're buyers. Like if you as the wizard are like no, let him go.
That was my intention, but I didn't know if I had a chance to do anything.
Yeah, I would say that I'm open because I trust Andy, and if Andy says no, just let this go, like I'll listen. So I'm pulling out my wand and getting ready to like blast this
to throw down. And
so Andy's probably like trying to move to kind of block and like grab near your wrist a bit. He's far away already. We're in the residential area. It's broad daylight. We left everyone else by themselves, and we don't know what else might be in that house. I don't want to let him go either, but he's going to find us again if he needs to. Maybe he'll know now to talk next time. We can all use our words.
You better, or I'm going to catch him a third time, and this time it's going to stick.
And Andy, like dad disappointment yells at the vampires. He's running away.
We could talk first.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Could use our words.
Communication, okay?
That's funny.
Look,
I will say though, did he leave anything? So in the process of shattering my dome, did he drop anything? Did he like get cut? So there's blood that maybe we could take, like anything along those lines that I could.
So as part of he's surrendering, you do get to essentially, he was withdrawing, and so his leaving is like up to him, but you get concessions essentially because he has surrendered to you. So yes, we can say that there's definitely blood when he did his vamp out of your dome.
Nice.
So if you want to try and collect blood to track him later, you can totally do that.
Hell yeah.
You're wizards.
Yep.
And I will also say that you saw he was wearing a backpack. Cole knows what's likely inside that backpack. And so when he busts through, I'll say the backpack ripped a little bit and a few pieces of scrap paper fell out of the bag.
Okay, so
it's not everything from that wall,
no,
but it's some other stuff from that wall.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick up the papers, and then I'm also gonna I assume I'm probably carrying like assorted small magical implements, and amongst those I probably got like a vial or something that I can try to like scoop a little bit of this blood into.
Yeah,
I bring in a plastic baggie to put the.
Yeah.
So I assume you have your own way of carrying things. Andy might have a little doctor's bag.
I'm going very witch with her.
Very cool.
it's probably like actual vials or
Yeah. And so you're able to totally collect. So we can wrap this scene up because the scene has essentially come to a close. As part of the closing of the scene, though, I let you, if there's any other outstanding questions you would like to ask about the house, any checks or anything like that, you are essentially left to your own devices. So the only questions I have are, what else do you do in the house? What do you do about the goons? And then where are you going after this?
I would like to further investigate the dog cages.
Okay.
I'd like to see what's on these papers. And I mean, I'll take them back to the rest of the group. So if Cole knows that things were missing, like we can put our heads together. And
Okay.
Yeah. Cole was taking. I'm gonna go back upstairs and take pictures of where stuff was, so we can
I will
kind of.
stay far away from that.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
Cole takes pictures of that, and then maybe Lady Harmony comes and just takes it all because she can't look at a cell phone picture.
We can print it out.
Okay, so I don't know if this is a horrible idea, but you can't forget things you've looked at with the site.
Oh no.
No.
That is a horrible idea.
That is a horrible idea. Go for it.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Oof.
Because you're going to see this place on a spiritual level, and that's
It's gonna be bad,
this
my
place
friend.
is not good.
no
I want to see the
possible.
vampire den on a spiritual level.
Okay,
This is like taking one of those black lights to a bad hotel room.
Also,
Yeah.
everyone else is like around, so you would also potentially see all of us.
yeah, that's
That's
true.
the interesting bit.
I feel like I probably go into that room to look at it and say something about it and just hear Andy from a completely different other room go, no.
Oh! Horrible! Printers are a thing!
Yeah, real bad idea. Real bad. Yeah, the voice of reason comes crashing and like, no, stop.
Yeah.
No.
Bust through the door from another room. I gotta.
It will break your brain.
Kool-Aid
Kindle.
Man, man, no.
I have the dad thing for the thermostat but for bad decisions. No.
Exactly.
No wonder you keep
May that
showing up
never
in my
be
place.
attuned to Cass, because I'm sorry.
Oh god.
So, Cass and Percy, is there anything else from the house you'd like to know?
I'm just gonna. Cass will probably want, while everybody's kind of going to their specific spaces, she's just trying to get an overall look at this place. And while I don't have a firsthand, like I don't have a ton of firsthand experience with other White Court vampires, would there, like, through my readings, through my like my own personal investigations of them, would I see anything that might tip me off?
Okay. So your research and familiarity. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Mhm.
You're still trying to figure out how the Malvora work because you're a Wraith and not a Malvora,
Yeah.
so it's very different.
It's very, very different.
Well, at least the emotions are.
Yeah.
You don't really get the cages.
Yeah.
They don't seem right. Something is off about that.
Yeah.
I'm
That's-
investigating the cages.
And we'll get, and that's actually we're going to segue into, because you'll be like, because they like to make their prey depressed
Yeah.
rather than afraid, because
Yeah.
fear is a scavis emotion.
Yeah.
So being locked in a cage would be scary, not depressing. I mean, it would be a little bit depressing,
Mm,
but
a
it'd be
little bit,
more scary.
There are better ways to depress somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Alcohol.
Uh,
So.
That works for the Wraiths too.
Oh yeah.
So the cages are weird to you. The body bags, you get the sense the body bags are to help dispose of the people that they eat too much
Yeah.
of. So that makes sense. Everything else,
Tracks. It's really just those cages that seem weird.
yeah, the cages seem off.
Okay. I'll probably follow up to Nikki at some point to kind of get a closer look on those as well, just because it just seems so weird.
And as you kind of like, Nikki's like looking around. Nikki, because of your Uncle Garg,
Awesome.
I will let you know these cages are iron.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's not terrible for us.
These cages are great at holding Fae.
Okay.
And you even see blankets that they've probably put on the bottom of the cages so that the thing can sit on the blanket and not be touching the cold iron. So whatever they were smuggling, whatever they were moving, they were
related.
keeping in these cages because they're Fae.
Okay.
So you're not sure what they're doing, if it's changelings who have crossed over, or if they're smuggling goblins, or what the heck they're smuggling, but they're doing something with the Fae.
Okay.
And they're doing it in a bad way.
Yeah.
This is something that if you reported to Summer and Winter and or the Wild, like they would be real pissed.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm just muttering under my breath, shit.
Yeah.
And you would hear that.
Yeah. What's wrong, Mickey?
Nothing that concerns you at the moment. We'll have to talk about all of this later.
Okay. What do you mean concerns me?
Vanilla Mortal. Why
Let's
do you
talk
care
about
the
this.
Fae?
Let's talk about this over drinks later.
Okay.
Because
No big deal for a perfectly normal human person.
We're gonna wrap this up in a minute, so I think we should all have a chat over drinks after this. That would be my suggestion.
Perhaps we can discuss
do
future
that.
planning of these little operations.
Agreed.
So Andy and Harmony, you managed to make it back safely. The dome is half still there because Earth magic is permanent. It literally is like there's a weird half dome that's just like there. Maybe someone will mistake it for an art installation.
Someone has to drive around that.
It'll eventually crumble, I'm sure.
Fine.
I'm saying for the sake of Harmony's and Andy's sanity, it was in the backyard of someone's house. So there's someone's backyard has this dome that just popped up and half of it's now missing and crumbled rust.
I'm gonna have scientists descending on Portland for reverse sinkholes.
Yep. So you guys are right back. Percy, was there anything I didn't catch if there was anything you wanted to investigate?
To interrogate people.
So you're bringing in the dead bodies, or not the dead bodies, the goons.
Unconscious
We
body.
didn't kill anyone. We just
No, you
flung them very, very far and kicked them between the legs for 6 points.
One of them wishes they were dead. The other two are fine. Just have head wounds. But you want to interrogate the mooks?
Yes. Would that be what skill does that fall under?
That's usually intimidation. Because essentially you're trying to have a social battle with them. You could try and use rapport.
I was going to say rapport or empathy could also be options.
Or empathy to essentially try and be like, hey man, I'm on your side. Like, just tell us what you want to know. Or you could just go full on Batman, Christian and Bale style, like swear to me, tell me the truth. Like that's kind of like your options. It's kind of like a persuasion versus intimidation kind of stuff.
Would it be reasonable
Provoke is bad cop.
Yeah.
Would it be reasonable that PI has zip ties to restrain?
Sure.
Okay.
I would also say I may have rope, probably.
Yeah.
Probably have zip ties here.
And you can very easily replenish your zip tie stash.
I'll put them in the back seat, all three, pardon, and wait for them to wake up while I'm sitting in the passenger seat in the front.
Okay.
And when they do wake up, I am going to buddy up to them.
Okay.
Just say, so basically whoever was running that in there, you just failed them. And I don't want to have to bring you to whatever's going to happen when they find out how poor of a job you did. But car's here and running, and that's our next destination. Now, look, if I get some information, maybe that door unlocks. Maybe I can help you out here. What is the purpose of the cages?
So why don't you roll? That sounds a lot like. I'm gonna say that sounds a lot like rapport,
Okay.
and they will roll their social defense.
Nice.
Woo!
Ugh.
So I'm guessing, holy shenanigans.
That's
So how many? So yeah, you take these mooks out. Like you socially destroy these people because they only have they don't have enough social defense against that kind of an awesome roll. So you have a potent success, not only in quality of the success remarkable, but it may have some unexpected and secondary benefits such as deeper insight into the problem at hand. So I'll say one of them is like, no, I'm not saying anything. And then the other one doesn't really know anything. Like they're just a mook. They were hired for the job. They don't know anything.
Mhm.
The third person, definitely not the person you nutted, but definitely the person that Nikki took out because he went back inside.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
Is the one that knows what's up. And he's like, he kind of like gives the two a side eye and then says, listen, we were just hired to come up from Boston for a gig. I wasn't supposed to go this way, but the longer we stayed here, we started seeing weird stuff, and we didn't sign up for this. And as he's talking, like the other two are kind of like, yeah, like they're kind of like nodding along, like, yeah, we didn't sign up for the craziness that we're getting into. Like he was doing some weird things, and we were just supposed to guard some people in cages, which I wasn't okay with, but they were paying really well. And the people were weird, man. They had cat-like eyes, I think. Like, it's not normal. Like, what is that?
That's probably just the stress. I don't think that's something that.
Yeah, stress. Yeah. Huh.
You seem very stressed.
Yeah.
You seem in a lot of pain. Are you gonna be okay there, buddy?
Might be a slight concussion.
My head hurts a lot. And the he goes on to describe something, but how versed in the she and Fae is Percy?
Percy, zero
Yeah.
versed.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. So he describes a cat-like person. They're very human-sized, but very cat-like, almost like a tabaxi, for lack of a better word, but obviously not a tabaxi.
So I would like to use a fate point, tapping the reformed PI who speaks to ghosts aspect, to call back on the Bluetooth that was mentioned in the planning of this, and have this information relayed to someone else on the team while I'm in the car doing the interrogation.
Sure.
If I knew I was doing interrogation, I would have given it to. I would have tried to give it to one of the wizards. They would have denied.
Yep.
And then
You and I don't know each other very well, but I'd probably be the best one who would know Fae stuff.
We're always available for consulting.
Or the changeling.
Too.
Or the changeling.
He's like the
I
better
mean-
one.
Cole had
But you
it
don't
to
know
begin
that.
with.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows that Cole is a changeling yet.
Nope.
God, no, he's just a car thief. Yeah, a good one.
Well,
So,
Percy
yeah.
doesn't
He
know
also
that
wouldn't know
anyone's
about-
anything.
Nikki, I think, either in their knowledge. So if you just
And
pretty
also,
much
we don't really
match
know each other. We are
Right.
just like vague acquaintances.
Though, I mean, yeah, Bluetooths do work for me.
it. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
You guys came in the car together would be my other
Yeah, I
thought.
just say
So
I'm
you can relay that
probably if
information.
I'm wearing that Bluetooth, I'm probably getting very pale on the other end of that conversation.
I mean, at this point, the rest of us are all in the house together. So if you
Yeah.
contact
Yeah.
one person, they can consult everyone else.
The rest
Right.
of us.
Correct.
Would that be okay for a fate point?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So yeah, Cole.
Do I need to roll my absolutely no lore whatsoever?
You are a changeling, and you have dealt with the Fae before, because you have a Fae ex-girlfriend. You know what a Malk is when it is described to you.
Oh boy.
You know what a winter Fae Malk sounds like. So it sounds like these people were gathering up winter Fae Malks and keeping them in cages for some reason.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
How do you relate this to us?
Cool. Yeah. How do you explain this, buddy?
Yeah, he's just gonna get pale and more horrified and just. Wow. We are so deep in it.
What do you mean, Cole?
Yeah, what do you mean, Cole?
Care to
I
share
know
with
you've
the
done
class?
some. I know you've done some shit for the Summer Fae. I'm not saying this out loud. I'm saying this out of character. I know you've done stuff with the Fae before, so I know
Well,
you're
Cole
somewhat
said-
affiliated.
But
Well-
Cole saying that, Andy would probably like knock on one of the iron cages and be like, "Yeah, no kidding."
Yeah. I'm just gonna say that I'm really glad I'm not that guy because the Queen of Air and Darkness is not going to be very, very happy at all to know that they've kidnapped Malks, that they've kidnapped her people. That's not going to go over well.
Queen Malks.
Hold on.
Sorry, can we?
This is what I mean by drinks.
Yeah.
Is Andy's lore high enough to know what those words mean?
I would.
Is
mine-
harmonies?
I have a 4.
Yeah.
I'll say, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Kasara, have you ever read any Shakespeare?
Yes.
Midsummer's Night's Dream,
Yes.
Titania and Oberon?
Uh-huh.
Worse.
Oh.
Yeah, they're the good guys.
Like magnitudes. Well, that's a
Good guys is dubious.
Well, okay.
Can somebody just maybe later?
That's why I said drinks.
Start a
Yeah,
diagram for me.
This is why
Yeah,
drinks needs to be involved.
I think
I'm all about.
Andy looks over at Harmony and goes, "What did you do last night?" Or the other night.
I didn't do anything to do with Malks.
You hit the vampire and now we're
The vampire was going to eat Percy. Did you want me to just let that happen?
No, just
Yeah, I'm confused as
I
to why
appreciate-
vampires are involved in this.
Right?
turn back to Cass. And why are you involved in this?
Nick,
I am
freaking out.
Andy, calm down. Calm down.
It'll be okay.
Deep breath.
My third
Deep breath.
question is:
Should I roll to not hex the shit out of the Bluetooth receiver? Or?
Absolutely.
Probably.
Actually, no. You know what? You have a fate point. The Bluetooth stops working.
Oh, okay. Great.
Oh, it just goes dead,
dang,
and Percy starts
damn it.
swearing in the car.
both Cole and Percy get this. Whee! Like, oh, what the?
ooh.
Thanks. Oh, thanks, son.
I was
Andy,
like,
deep breath.
and Harmony's just like, no, I knew that was coming.
Oh, well, now I can't.
There's like a
rest.
vein
Solve.
in his forehead that's
And
just.
it's okay. It's gonna be okay. I mean,
Cole, your cell phone also doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I figured.
And Kasara, I'm pretty sure you have a cell phone. Your
I did
cell
have a
phone
cell-
doesn't work anymore.
I did
Yeah,
have a
mine's
cell
out.
phone. That's now past tense.
I
Weren't
have
all
cell
the
phone
pictures
also.
on the cell phone?
Your
I
cell
keep
phone's
burners.
okay.
Andy, this doesn't get us in trouble with Winter. This, if anything, gets the White Court in trouble with Winter.
And they're gonna. Okay, so
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
you're right.
Let's go to
And
Wilson's.
What's gonna be in the middle of all of that? this potential war with the Malvora and the Winter Court, where ground zero is happening. Who lives there?
A
Okay,
lot
fair
of
point.
us.
Hey, no.
Calm down, Andy.
Cole's like, I don't live here. I'm just staying. Bye.
On the bright side,
Uh-huh.
if we find these Malks and rescue them, guess who owes us a favor?
That is also true.
On that note, vial of blood.
We do have that option.
What's
Okay, why don't
can we?
Drinks.
Yeah,
We should-
let's
yeah.
regroup.
explanations for me would be wonderful. What is a vial of? Is that blood?
So,
You would
Kasar,
recognize the blood, actually.
I need you to roll me another deception check. Because you know exactly what vampire blood looks like.
Dude, that mildly concerns me.
This is empathy again, I assume, on our part.
Oh, I did horrible.
Oh wow.
Oh no.
I am losing it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh
no.
Oops. I rolled twice on accident.
That's okay.
That first one was a 4.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Even I caught that one. Dang.
Oh,
Oh,
I do not catch it, but I already know, so it doesn't really matter.
Fine. So we will close the scene with all of you, like when she's like, "What is that?" And you get like almost like she accidentally like doesn't smirk, but you all, except for Harmony, are like, "Huh?" And that is where like the scene will close, and we will deal with the fallout somewhere else. So where are we going?
I was suggesting.
But before we go somewhere, actually, I'm just realizing it's 10:17 and we haven't taken a break. So for the sake of stretching and getting up and taking a break, why don't we take like a 5-minute break, stretch, and when we come back, we will reveal what the information you got from the wall, and we will pick a location to have that scene. Sound good?
Yes.
Cool.
That's fantastic.
All right, we'll be back in 5.
one. That's weird. You named your dog the same as... Don't forget the backpack. Mm-hmm. So no. Wait a minute, you too? What? Yes. I would there be any issue with ghosts being in a wizard's house in with the ward? I did that then. I definitely did that. Manny is a friend of mine who passed away and now travels with me. Yeah, he's informative and has kept me alive quite a bit. So, like, fast forwarding back to this moment, he's gonna kind of motion to an empty spot and be like, "My friend here follows me around. I can, speak to dead people," and he kind of gives this like grin of he thinks he has made like a very funny joke, even though he has misquoted the 6 times. That's your thing too, right? That's why you were with the souls, with the body. You hesitated when I was asking about why the soul was partial inside that body. Percy knows it because he would have had to have known to be the bait. There you go. What was that? That was. I mean, I would stay away from me then. Yeah, and like, they had already been to the point where they were living together, so like, saying they're in love isn't really a big deal to them anymore. So that he's like, I mean, yeah, I was living with Manny for about 6 months. Yeah, I like it better if like no one actually points where Manny is. Accidental brushes happen. I will be careful as well. I didn't know this. Wait a minute. Do you eat? Is eat the right word? He's like looking at the is eat the. Do you feed on the same thing that the guy in the bar fed on? Oh, you got nothing to worry about for me then. All right. Kasara, you mentioned to me that some of your clients had passed away. Were those the same clients that you fed on that then were taken by the other White Court? I noticed when you flung that guy halfway down the block He walked away. It's fine. I picked my character's low lore to match my player's low lore.
I'm Adam Pearson, your GM/storyteller. You can find me on the Twitters at Adam_J_Pearson. And my fantastic players, who are ineffable, but we still have to try and describe ourselves. We'll start again with Nick. And this time, tell them who you are, where they can find you, and your favorite moment of the evening.
I am Nick. You can find me on Twitter at 2KNick and also here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Let's Play 2 if for some reason you're the only cross section of tabletop RPGs and text-based wrestling simulation games. But my favorite moment of this game was the constant dirt mounds and trying to capture the vampire as he ran away. Just the idea of him slamming into it as it popped up really made me chuckle.
Awesome. Jumping to Natalie.
Hi.
As she muted herself. Whoops.
I don't know. I'm good. Yeah. My cat makes a lot of noises sometimes, okay? Hi, I'm Natalie. You can find me on Twitter at Chaotic Rogue, or you can find out about the other streams that I do. Like I've got one on Sunday with Cold Heart Gaming, but anyways. And also everything with Mage College. My favorite part, I really loved that the Soul Gaze happened. I'm not gonna lie, I really liked that. I liked seeing it actually Harmony and the NPC, and then between Annie and Cass as well. Like I loved both of them, and it was really cool to see it for both wizards tonight, but also then like totally Cass is out, which is She's having a day, guys. God.
Having a day.
Anyway.
Awesome. So we will jump to CJ.
Hi, I'm CJ. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Commander Pulsar. I stream video games, tabletop role-playing stuff, and do this. This is great. I'm big on playing Fate and all kinds of other things, so see more of this kind of thing. I think my favorite part of the evening is Andy sending that mook to Yeatsburg, and just. And I'm so amused that we went with Esperanto. That was just off the top of my head because I was thinking of weird languages, and oh man, I can't believe that lasso fits so well. Anyway,
So good.
that's me.
Excellent. I love it. We will jump then down to Danielle.
Hi, I'm Danielle. I'm at RyRacontour on Twitter and at Thalialata on both Twitch and Instagram. If you would like to follow me on any of those places, I talk about being a nerd. My favorite moment tonight is just everything to do with the magic. I love exploring new magic systems, and I really love how magic works in this game. And so I don't know if you guys saw me like gleefully clapping my hands every time one of us did a spell because it was just so wonderful. I'm really, really, really enjoying it.
It's really cool. I love it.
Good.
It's like half the reason why I wanted to play Dresden Files. Half the reason. Okay, jumping back to Selena.
Hi, I'm Selena. You can find me at ABCDFAR on the Twitters, and I'll be playing some. Give me a second. Monster of the Week one shot tomorrow night. When is that actually? I forget.
It'll be here at 6 to 9 East Coast time.
I haven't decided what I'm going to be playing yet, but I'll be here playing that. And I think my favorite moment was also the Soul Gaze, because that in general is just really interesting and a really cool aspect of the book series of him seeing people. So yeah,
They are pretty cool. All right, last but not least, Zach.
Hi, I'm Zach. I can be found on Twitter at Sir Gorals, and also every Friday night here doing Dresden, which I'm super pumped about. That's the only stream I'm on right now. My favorite moment of the night was really just the whole last scene. Like, I mean, the Soul Gaze was great, but also just everybody kind of saying like, well, okay, here's my stuff. Like, here's all of our baggage and what we're dealing with, and just like the group like quickly just figuring out like, okay, we should just come together and be honest, at least for now, with one another. I really liked all of that.
Yes,
Getting the
very
band together.
Yes, getting the band together. Exactly.
Yes.
Very awesome. As I said, I'm Adam. We're on Variant Rolls tonight. There's a bunch of stuff tomorrow on Variant Rolls. There's the Indie Love games that Nox runs tomorrow afternoon. There is As the Sun Burns is season 1 finale tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Or no, that was tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Technically, I have a one shot tomorrow. We're playing Monster of the Week Twisted with using the Wild Hunt variety that I have been running. I have one more hopefully next Saturday, but we'll see if there's enough people signed up. And then there's a bunch of shows on Sunday. You should just stay here and hang out with us all the time. It's really good. My favorite moment is the fact that my players are amazing, and they literally were just talking amongst themselves, and I just like sat here and was like stacking my dice because they were running the show all by themselves, totally without me. It was perfect. I love it when my players can do that I am an observer rather than a facilitator, but just I don't have to guide the action because y'all are guiding the action yourselves. So I was very happy. I picked a good bunch of people. So catch us here next Friday where we will figure out what the crap these people are going to do. Have a good night and stay whimsical.